Pranks. Everyone loves pranks. You play funny trick on someone and they will fall for it, thinking it's a real deal. But in reality, it was for giggles and shits, just like what Hitler did to Poland. It's just a prank, bro. Wait, never say that. But what if the pranks went too far? What happened to those poor souls? Well, let me introduce you. Let's start with people that have fortunately survived these dangerous pranks. Yeah, that's all. Only one injury. Now, what did bro cook to be on top of this iceberg? I'm pretty sure you have at least heard of this guy because he was everywhere on the news. Anyway, last year, a 21-year-old YouTube prankster was filming for his prank video at Doyle's Town Center Mall in Sterling, Virginia. And the prank is harassing a stranger and pretending to vomit on the guy. The target he was harassing was a 31-year-old Alan Coley, a DoorDash delivery driver. He was trying to pick up his food until this guy came out of nowhere as if he just loaded new Minecraft chunks. Tanner followed him with his phone playing a Google Translate text-to-speech audio.
Hey, quit thinking about my twinkle.
Multiple times.
Please record after. Stop.
Hey, quit thinking about my twinkle.
Stop!
Unfortunately, Tanner survived the gunshot and now he's back making content. Oh, and Alan Coley is not guilty. Well, now that we're done with Deer, it's time to deep dive below this water. Oh great, not a huge prankster. 22-year-old Pedro Ruiz set an idea for his next video that will make him viral. He believes that a thick book can shield him from a gunshot. He proposed his idea to his girlfriend, Morasky Perez, now 20. When she heard his idea, she was excited and immediately get ready. The book he picked for his prank was a 4cm thick hardcover encyclopedia, but the gun he chose for this experiment was a fucking Desert Eagle. Ah yes, surely a 50 caliber can penetrate the paper. Perez aimed the deagle at the book and pulled the trigger. She immediately called 911. A 3-year-old child went outside to see what was the loud bang noise, only to see their father has been shot. Nearly 30 onlookers witnessed the tragedy. Police arrived, then arrested her. A trio of mates were traveling around Australia in dual cab. In the middle of the way, a guy named Sam Minot said, "Yo, I need to take a piss." So they stopped to let him urinate by the side of the road. When Sam left the car to pee, two of his friends decided to play a prank on him by repeatedly moving forward, pretending to leave Sam behind. Sam was obviously panicking and quickly pee as fast as he can. After they had enough messing around with him, the driver eventually reversed to return to his friend, but on full speed, which allegedly hit Sam, leaving him with serious head injuries. They quickly rushed to Charles Towers Hospital, but the 24-year-old was pronounced dead upon arrival. It's nighttime. A 23-year-old guy named Nicholas Bell from Vermont wanted to wake his friend by using a BB gun. The friend in question was a 24-year-old Jeffrey Chanibu. Nicholas Bell then walked closer to the table to grab the gun and walked closer to his friend, getting ready to aim. Little thing did he know, the gun he picked was a real rifle loaded with .22 caliber. Nicholas was jailed and bail was set at $250,000. At Air Calder Navigation Canal in Leeds, 14-year-old George was walking down with his girlfriend and her siblings. They walked near the canal and had an idea. He wanted to jump into the canal as an Easter prank. He thought he would be able to get off there quickly. and so he did jump, only to find out of the existence of water currents. Emergency service were called, but was sadly pronounced dead upon arrival. The 14-year-old died in front of his girlfriend. George's mother laid a flower by a canal where he drowned. Wilson, a young man from the Chicago suburb Naperville, went to the south side of Chicago with a friend pranking random people. Wilson's friend hid somewhere around the area to record the scenes. After the camera is set up, Wilson approached a couple of Five-Star gang members and said, "Are you ready to die?" Before Wilson could pull out a bottle of car hair dye to insinuate that he meant dyeing his hair, one of the gang members thought he was reaching for his gun, and so then left the scene. Wilson was rushed to the University of Chicago Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead upon arrival. Wilson's friend submitted the video to the local police, but no arrests were made. In 2003, a Florida 16-year-old Mark Juris decided to play a prank by ringing the bell and then run away. He rang the bell only to be met with gunshot. The shooter, Jay Levin, who claimed he thought the Juris was an armed intruder. Levin pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 1 year in jail, ordered to pay $750,000 in restitution to the boy's parents. For you American, that's around 108 million V-Bucks. On April 1st, 2024, an 18-year-old Class 11 student from Indore decided to play a prank on his friend during video call for April Fools. The victim, Abhishek Raghuvashi, was chatting on his mobile phone. When he set up the prank, he jokingly said, "The student, during video call with his friend, stood on a stool and prayed to die by suicide. With a rope around his neck, standing on the stool, the student was discussing his fake suicide with his friend to deceive him. But then, the stool slipped." Upon witnessing the incident, Abhishek's friend swiftly informed his family, who then rushed him to a nearby hospital, where doctors declared him dead. A 16-year-old Kentucky teenager, Jordan Mullen, loves prank and Halloween. In fact, Jordan has played tons of pranks on his parents, but Halloween 2013 will be Jordan's last prank.
The tragic accident involving a Fern Creek teenager.
16-year-old Jordan Moreland died as he was trying to pull off a prank involving Halloween decorations. He loved Halloween. His mother now is heartbroken over his death. She is talking with us tonight about what happened here.
Ginger Rodriguez says her 16-year-old son, Jordan Moreland, loved to take risks. He loved pranks. But on Sunday night, her heart shattered. Jordan's little sister made a gruesome discovery. One of Jordan's pranks went terribly wrong.
She came in and told me that, Bubby's hanging from the tree and he's not moving. And I said, well, he's probably playing a prank on you because he was pranking us on other things that day. We're putting up Halloween decorations. And she said, no, he's not moving and he's got drool hanging from his mouth. And I ran out, and when I went out, his back was facing me, and then I turned him around and I couldn't save him. I couldn't lift him up, and he was hung.
After 12 grueling hours on life support and in a coma, at 8:02 Monday morning, the Fern Creek honor student and ROTC rifle team member died.
Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Triple, Whopper.
On 14 March 2017, 11-year-old Tyson Benz has received a message over social media saying his 13-year-old girlfriend just committed suicide. Tyson was absolutely shocked to hear this news. Devastated, Tyson replied to all mutual friends that he was going to do the same. In reality, his girlfriend was still alive and doing fine, but none of his friends told him that this was just a prank and kept telling him that she is indeed dead. After an hour receiving those messages, Tyson committed suicide. His mom found him hanging and quickly rushed him to a hospital, but it was too late. The girl was charged with malicious use of telecom service, as well as committing crime via a computer. A store owner shot and killed a high school senior who was filling after trying to steal an advertising balloon as a part of a scavenger hunt. Clyde Thompson, 18, was shot when he ran from a furniture store. Thompson and a group of friends were taking part of an elaborate scavenger hunt, a spring prank among Surface High School students. Authorities said the store owner told them that he shot into the air. He was not charged, but the case was referred to the Akron District Attorney's Office. In 2009, two teenagers were working. Stephen Allen, 18, sprayed cleaning fluid over Barry McLagan. Both had a bit of a laugh as if it's an ordinary thing for them. Then, Stephen decided to tease him by sparking a cigarette lighter. Barry stopped laughing and said stop. A car had come into the workshop, but as soon as I turned to look at it, Stephen sparked a cigarette lighter again, and the next thing I knew, I was on fire. Barry, 19, burst into flames. He suffered third-degree burns and had to have skin graft operations. Barry faces hospital treatment for the next 3 years. He'll be scared for life. Fortunately, he survived. At Galveston Sheriff Court, Stephen was ordered to perform 240 hours of community service. In 2023, at Kansam Colony of Ori, J.S., 13, was playing along with his two younger sisters, Mohawk and Ashta. J.S. put a piece of cloth over his eyes and then put a noose using a rope around his neck that's tied to a window. The boy was sitting on a small table, which then got accidentally pushed while playing. The noose got tightened around J.S.'s neck. J.S.'s mom, who is blind, was unable to rescue him. A 44-year-old man from Calisby, Randy Litandi, wanted to prank people by believing in Bigfoot existence. He bought a ghillie suit. The suit is usually worn by military sniper, but he used it to cosplay as a Bigfoot. On Highway 93 South, when Randy sees an incoming car, it's time for him to spring into action. What I mean by action is to get hit by a car 2 times. Randy unfortunately died. In Longmont, Colorado, north of Denver, an 18-year-old Indian girl, Premila Law, wanted to prank Nora Galley by scaring him off. When she knew Galley is coming, Premila hid inside a closet. Then, Premila jumped out of the closet, but by Galley's quick reaction, Galley was able to grab the gun and shot her, thinking she was an intruder. Lal was admitted to a hospital and was pronounced dead upon arrival. So far, Kelly has not been charged in Lal killing. On 4 December 2012, Jacinta Saladina, who is involved in the care of Duchess Cambridge, received a prank call from 2 Australian radio DJs, Mel and Mike, posing as Queen Elizabeth and Prince Charles. "Oh, hello there. Could I please speak to Kate, please? My granddaughter." Believing the calls to be genuine, Saldana transferred the call to a nurse who provided the private medical information about the Duchess. After the 2 DJs broadcasted their stunt prank, Saldana experienced significant stress. On the morning of 7 December 2012, Saldana was found dead by suicide. Today FM, the radio station involved in the prank call, faced a backlash and advertiser withdrawal. The 2 DJs involved were taken off in the air, and the incident prompted changes in media ethics policies. In 2006, which was 37 years ago, you feel old yet? A 14-year-old boy, Crawford, and his 2 friends had been throwing eggs at passing cars as a prank. When Crawford exited a jeep, the jeep driver, Gross, left his vehicle and began shooting Crawford. Crawford was struck and pronounced dead at the scene. Michael Shane Gross, 23, was charged with murder and tampering with evidence in connection with the 2006 shooting. Believe it or not, a same case also happened in the same place. In 2008, a 16-year-old Junior Garrett was also shot and killed in retaliation for throwing eggs at vehicles, but it's unknown who shot him. On December 2013, Bradley Davis, 35, was sentenced to 3 years in prison for killing his stepfather, then Philly Clare, 58, with an atomic wedgie. Davis had never intended to kill S.D. Clare and only did it for a joke. Davis was initially charged with first-degree murder in January 2014 and pleaded guilty to the lesser charge of manslaughter in May. I wonder how many times this has happened that there's even a term for it. 19-year-old Ashley died after suffering severe burns while attempting to jump into a moving train as a prank. The incident, filmed by his brother Jake, occurred at a railway depot in Warsaw. Ashley made contact with 2,500,000 volt electricity cable while dangling from a bridge, resulting in extensive burns. Despite efforts to save him, Ashley sadly passed away. An inquest revealed that Ashley and his friend were smoking cannabis and illegal highs before the incident. James Luther McRae, a 34-year-old man, was killed in a crash while pursuing teenagers who had toilet paper in his yard in rural Escambia County. McRae called the sheriff department after seeing 4 teens in his yard, thinking they were attempting theft. The teens fled in a vehicle and McRae pursued them in his Chevrolet pickup truck. While trying to take a picture of their license plate, McRae lost control of his truck and crashed through a fence and was ejected from the vehicle. He was not wearing a seatbelt. The investigation revealed that the teens were rolling yards, not attempting theft. 3 girls, all under 18, were involved. No charges have been filed in the connection with the incident. Escambia County Sheriff announced a zero-tolerance policy for such pranks, emphasizing the seriousness of consequences. 15-year-old Christopher Patton and 2 of his friends pulled in front of 16-year-old Joshua Davis' home with masks on and pointed water guns on Davis that looked like a real gun. But then, Davis responded by pointing a real gun at Patton and shooting him once in the chest. All involved were reported friends. No one is currently in custody, and the case will be presented to the district attorney to determine if charges will be filed. Another YouTuber. 22-year-old Timothy Wilkes was filming a prank video at a parking lot in Nashville on Friday night when Wilkes and a friend approached 22-year-old David Starnes. Timothy threatened David with a butcher knife. David, in self-defense, shot Wilkes on the chest as he was unaware of the prank. Wilkes' friend has not been publicly identified and no charges have been made since then. On Little Rock, Arkansas, 15-year-old Adrian Broadway and her friends were retaliating for Halloween prank. They threw toilet paper, eggs, and mayonnaise on a car parked at their house. As they were leaving, a man identified as 48-year-old Willie Noble came out of the house and opened fire. Broadway was struck in the head and died, while another teenager suffered injuries to his arm. Noble has been charged with first-degree murder, terrorist act, and aggravated assault. He appeared in court and bond was set at $1 million. Not to be confused with the Indian YouTube prankster, I remember I saw a clip somewhere but I don't remember where, so I'm not sure when that happened. But from what I remember, there was that one CCTV recording where a father of 2 of their children dressed up as a ghost. They later walked down the crosswalk and only to get hit and run. I think the father died, but the child survived, and that's all I remember. I tried searching on Google, but I can't find anything article related to it, aside the Indian one. So if you know more about this or saw the video, please comment down below. In 2015 at West Virginia, a group of teens thought it would be funny to throw wet underwears onto a nearby cop car after a late-night swim. The officer, Trooper BD, did find it funny. Hey, I should give him payback. Somehow, Trooper was able to track down the teenager with just their wet underwear. Like, how the fuck is that even possible? After Trooper arrived at the teen house, Trooper said, "Hey, that was funny. Can I join your little game prank?" "Sure." And then they both have fun. Okay, I lied, that never happened. But what did actually happen is, the boy, whose name is Timothy, allegedly resisted arrest, got sprayed with pepper spray, got beaten the shit out of him, and as a cherry on top, he dropped 2 bullets on him. Oh, I wish I was making this up, but that is what actually happened. The worst part is, Trooper did not get fired. and he's still working to this day. The county prosecutor declined to file criminal charges against him, and he returned to full duty as if nothing had happened.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
I know what you're thinking. Why one submarine? Well, it's because we're done with Tier 2, and now we're going more deeper. More deeper means, I don't know.
You are the best captain on the planet. I'm not even squid.
On 1987, two students, Robert Ramsey 19 and Edward 18, dropped a smoke bomb inside their friend's college dormitory as a prank. Keyword: prank. Christopher L. Stanner, for our students, was trapped by the heavy smoke in their room. But then, the smoke bomb somewhat exploded, which resulted in fire that caused the death of Christopher L. Stanner and injuries to other 4 students. Robert and Edward were arrested, each being held at the Delaware Correctional Center in Smyrna in lieu of $51,500 bail on charges of manslaughter, reckless endangering, assault, and criminal mischief. Derek Greenlee 18 and Seth Stone Rock 19 surrendered to deputies on charges of involuntary manslaughter after an elderly woman was critically injured and her sister killed in a car accident. The accident occurred because the stop sign was covered in plastic wrap, making it nearly invisible to motorists. The prank was posted in Facebook by the two friends, but the post disappeared quickly after the incident. Greenlee and Stone Rock thought their prank was funny at first. According to Assistant Prosecutor Jeffrey Cattry, the men, both recent high school graduates, face up to 5 years in prison if convicted. At around 8 p.m., when the area was in the grip of power cut, 5 youths scaled the wall of the Ito Santo High School's hostel in Musharabad, Navagram. The youth, wearing masks, slipped into the premise and knocked on the door. When the girls did not open the door, they peeped into the window and made howling noises. The girls were frightened, and one of the girls, Pratima Baske, suffered cardiac arrest, then fell unconscious. She was later declared dead at the scene. The 5 other girls were hospitalized. Police say they cannot find the prankster. "19-year-old David Diaz and his 4 other friends were egging unsuspecting people below from a Harlem rooftop. When they were confronted and coming for them by someone from below, Diaz was booked and attempted to run. While trying to climb off a 3-foot-high ledge on the roof, Diaz fell from the roof and hit an air conditioner, which led him to death. Matthew Schofield, an investment banker, set fire to college grass skirt as a prank during the Merrill Lynch Halloween Christmas party. However, the prank went horribly wrong when the college guard McFadden emerged from the restroom charred and blackened with his head on fire. McFadden later died from his injuries, and another college, Angela Offwood, was badly burned. Schofield has admitted to the manslaughter and injuring Offwood. The incident took place on December 15, 2000, and Schofield will be sentenced next week. On the night of July 7, 1982, when Wade was 15 years old at the time, was hanging out with 4 friends on a stretch of railroad tracks in Fairway, New Jersey. They were drinking beer, smoking marijuana, and fooling around. Then, one of Wade's friends suggested to switch the railroad track, and Wade and the other agreed. They waited for the train coming, and it was timed perfectly. Within seconds, 5 passengers' cars going 60 miles per hour flew off the rails towards the wall factory. The train smashed into a factory and broke up. The cars bent and twisted. There were only 7 passengers and 2 crews on board. All of them survived with minor injuries. But up at the front, engineer Jack Duffy was crushed to death. Wade fled the scenes with his friend, but later learned Jack's death on the news. Police arrested the 5 teenagers, and Wade and 2 others were held most responsible for the crash. He pleaded guilty to manslaughter and served 22 months of his 5-year sentence. 20 years later, Wade is now a successful person on Wall Street, earning $1 million a year. He made a movie about his foolish prank. The video background you were watching was actually a trailer for his film.
Tracks, a story of rage and redemption.
Or let's just say, admitting his own crime. Remember Jack Duffy? the dead engineer I mentioned 3 seconds ago? Well, Jack's family isn't happy about this film, not because it's making fun of Jack's death, but the movie sends a wrong message to teenagers that you can kill someone 15 and be a successful person in 30 years later. Thomas Clark, 18, was with a group of friends aged 15 to 19 at a train. The prank wasn't mentioned on the source, but still called a prank for some reason. Thomas Clark climbed onto the train roof of a moving train while intoxicated. Their friends put it to not do, but Thomas was still going, which led him to his death when he collided with a bridge. Thomas' sister revealed that it wasn't his first time climbing onto a moving train. Just like before, the source didn't even tell what a prank is. In the early hour of 16 May 2004, Lee Winter and his friend Stuart Bartlett had been drinking before they decided to climb on the roof of LML Products in Colony, and then fell off and died. That's all, folks. A 16-year-old boy was found dead in Pond, White Lake Township, Oakland County, after fleeing from police following the incident at Tractor Supply Co. store. The boy was spotted climbing down from the roof of the building with another identified male when police responded to an alarm. While the other male has taken to custody, the 16-year-old fled into a wooded area. His body was found later in a nearby pond. Family members believe he drowned. The boy, identified as Joe Padasowski, was a junior at Lakeland High School and member of the varsity football team. The cause of death is under investigation by the Oakland County Sheriff's Office. In 2003, a 12-year-old Matthew Smith was attempting to scare his parents by pretending to fake his death, so he did it by tying a belt around his neck, but the prank went wrong, resulting in his death. His mother found him hanging in his bedroom, and despite attempts to revive him, he was pronounced dead. Four college students, Nicholas Mengen 21, Ryan Johnson 22, David Grady 19, and Daniel Cox 20. Attempted a firework prank on 19-year-old Brady University soccer player Sheridan Danny Galquist. They intended for their friend to run outside in his underwear going, "What the hell happened?" The students fired the firework inside Danny's room. Danny was in deep sleep, but when the firework exploded, Danny woke up with his room burning on fire. He immediately got up and escaped through a window, but was quickly overwhelmed by the smoke. The students were charged with aggravated arson and possession of explosive incendiary device. On 24 October 2004, at Shaftesbury Place, 22-year-old Julian Brooks and his friend were hanging around at the railway near his home in Brighton. He and his friend were imitating the character Gollum from the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that bitch. They were playing a game in which they crept around on all fours near a rail line. Brooker pretended to be electrocuted by touching the tracks, but tragically, Julian touched the life rail and was knocked unconscious. After Julian was electrocuted and slumped down onto the railway line, his friend Gemma Cousin and Peter Bennett tried to pull him off the life rail. However, they were also electrocuted and thrown clear. After a while, they managed to get Julian out. However, Julian Brooker died in the accident. One night in Southington, 18-year-old Eric Morley threw a lead sparker through a window of a second-floor apartment, intending to scare his friend brother. Don't know what his name, but we do know that the sparker went to 19-year-old Kristen Milano's bedroom, where she was sleeping. The sparker, which Eric had hoped would wake up his friend, set off a fire, which killed Kristen due to smoke inhalation. Their friends describe Eric as someone who often acts without considering the consequences, or let's just say, not thinking twice. He's just like me for real. Eric was arrested and charged with manslaughter and 3 counts of reckless endangerment. What? What was that noise? Wait, is that a fucking well? Holy fuck, it is! Huh, it appears that the oxygen tank is damaged. Anyway, on 4 June 1982, at McLaurin North High School, there's a tradition called Senior Prank Night. 18-year-old Norfolk Lee Pierce was among 250 and 300 McLaurin North students and alumni who gathered late Thursday at the campus to watch 3 dump trucks put 14 tons of sand on the faculty parking lot. Just after the third lot of sand was dumped, the truck began to pull away while Norfolk was sitting on the frame behind the cab. He jumped off but slipped on the sand and the truck ran over him. Somehow, Norfolk survived that until early Friday, where he later died. No charges were filed in the case, although it caused the annual tradition to be more monitored and stricter. This is gonna be a short one because we don't really know what happened. 15 years old Matthew Thompson, the son of surfing legend Sean Thompson, died in what his father described as schoolboy prank gone wrong. Yeah, that's it. He just said that and refused to elaborate. The rest of the article is just his father expressing his grief. I didn't know tampering stop sign got a sequel. 3 friends, Christopher Cole 20, Nissa Bailey 21, and Thomas Miller 20, removed the stop sign, and you already know what's next. The prank led to the death of 3 teenagers who drove into the path of an 8-ton truck. The 3 teenagers were sentenced to 15 years in prison for removing a stop sign. 20-year-old Garrett Gallin died tragically after lifting a heavy beer keg above his head as a prank at a pub in Cold Tyrone. The keg, weighing over 15 kilograms, slipped over his grasp and landed on him, causing fatal injuries. The police are not treating the incident as suspicious, attributing it to the mix of high spirit and alcohol. Garrett was described as a well-liked and respected young man. On 2006, at Great Yarmouth, Norfolk, a 3-year-old boy, John Comby, threw a real egg in a cream egg wrapper of a Lightning's house, but it smashed against bedroom windows instead. 16-year-old boy, Chris Lightning, armed with a knife, confronted Comby with his brother, and Comby was stabbed after pushing his brother. Lightning was found guilty of a manslaughter, but cleared of murder. In 2009, 15-year-old boy Daniel Midson visited his former school. Not really sure what the prank is, but it's a prank gone wrong, they say. Probably an excuse by Daniel. But what Daniel did is he threw 2 rocks into a window and set fire to the classroom, which cost estimated £6.5 million or $80.1 million. The motive for this prank is unknown, but it probably has something to do with world domination. In 2003, Marion D. Weaver, 58, was charged with murder for shooting Stephen Lee Cohn during an Amish prank of throwing tomatoes at passing vehicles in Mount Hope, Ohio. Weaver, a family friend, fired blindly into a cornfield from his car after being hit by tomatoes, which hit Kim. Kim's family, who had converted from Amish to Mennonite, was shocked. Weaver, arrested with several shotguns and matching shells, faced 50 years to life in prison if convicted, and is held on a $250,000 bond. On 30 November, Jack Lodge was seen messing around with an umbrella outside the supermarket, poking it at people. When he poked at a stranger, let's name him Boy A, the situation became serious, and the two became squared up to each other. Witnesses intervened to separate them, allowing Jack to leave. However, a friend of the stranger, Boy B, was backing up Boy A. He allegedly started to stab Jack and showed a blue-handed knife. Later that evening, as Jack was walking near an unmanned police office, Boy B handed a knife to Boy A, who then stabbed Jack twice, fatally injuring him. Both Boy A and Boy B was on trial. No updates since then. Oh god, what was that?
Warning, maximum depth reached.
Oh my, we have reached the bottom. In June 2005 at Lebanon, Virginia, 25-year-old Joshua Phil Martin, an emergency technician, played a prank on his colleague, 23-year-old Courtney Hilton Horton, by shocking her with cardiac defibrillator, which is used to restart the patient's heart, but for her, it was used to shut down her heart. She later died 3 days after the jolt of the defibrillator. Her half-sister, Chadna Wilson, told the judge Martin deserved a life sentence. I hope when he lays it down at night, he remembers those kids who don't have mommy anymore because of the foolish thing he done. Russell County Circuit Judge Mike Moore sentenced Martin to 5 years in prison, but he suspended 4 years of the sentence, leaving Martin with just under a year still to serve. Martin had no previous criminal record. I hope when you get out, you get on your life. You have the ability to help people, and I hope you do. Courtney deserved that. In March 2004, during an initiation ritual at Southside Monastic Lodge at number 493 in the basement, littered with rat traps, tin cans, a 9-foot tall guillotine, and a setup designed to mimic walking a plank, a new member named 47 years old William James joined the Fellow Craft Club, which is a social club located in the basement. There were over 10 men participating in the club initiation rites. James, the first to be initiated, sat in a chair and 2 tin cans were placed on a shelf by his head. The intention was for the older member to fire 2 blank rounds, and a man standing behind James would knock the cans down with a stick. An older member, 78 years old Albert Aid, a World War II veteran who had gun license, walked 20 feet away from the new member. Albert was carrying 2 guns, 22 caliber handgun with blank rounds in his left pocket and a 32 caliber gun in his right pocket. But Albert forgot to empty his 32 caliber gun. He reached into his right pocket, getting ready to aim on the tin can, then pulled the trigger. "We believe it was completely accidental," says the detective. "Clearly, it was a poor decision to have that weapon in that proximity." The bullet unfortunately landed on James' head, despite after aiming the gun on the can. Albert Aid pleaded not guilty to charge of manslaughter and went back to his club as if nothing ever happened. May 17, 2018, in New Delhi, India, 40-year-old worker Ravinder had been facing the mocking of fellow workers for wearing torn trousers to work. They were making fun of Ravinder's expense for not getting new pants. At around 4 p.m., Ravinder and another factory worker, Anjan Misra, was in charge of slashing wooden blocks using jet air compressor. When Ravinder bent down to pick up a block of wood, Anjan suddenly shoved the nozzle of the pipe into torn trouser and pressed it into Ravinder's anus. There was a great laughter at Ravinder's shocked reaction to the sudden jet of air entering his body, but he soon staggered and fell down on the ground. The jet of air had damaged the man's internal organ, leading to severe hemorrhage. Ravinder was taken to a local dispensary and then to a local government hospital, where he later died during treatment. Anjan Misra was arrested and charged with causing death by negligence, imprisoned for up to 2 years, and a fine. Oh, you thought that's it? No. 3 September 2018, a supervisor named Rakesh Bakmore played a prank on a factory worker. CCTV footage shows a worker named Jadav walking towards his supervisor on the factory floor to ask something. Rakesh was holding an air compressor, joking about it against Jadav's hair, and then to his anus. The factory worker immediately collapsed in agony. He was rushed to hospital, where he managed to survive for 50 days before he passed away on September 18. Doctors said his internal organ was severely damaged. Local police are in search for Wagner, who has reportedly been missing since the day of the incident. To this day, Wagner is still not found. Yet. A kid did not this happen 10 times in India, but I did not want this video dedicated to that. On October 2005, during an assessment test, an 18-year-old senior student, Matthew Patterson, decided to carry out a prank at Ole Valley High School. Matthew was wearing his Halloween costume, which is a gorilla mask and a sheepskin straw. He accessed to the school roof and intended to peer into different windows from there. A school's officers spotted the blue flag outside the school and Matthew in his costume on the roof. The officials immediately called the police due to concern about a potential threat. Since the incident of Columbine Massacre and September 11 attack, emergency service including the FBI and a bomb squad was a standard procedure due to the serious nature of the incident. Dozens of police, bomb-sniffing dogs, news reporter, bomb squad, FBI, another news reporter, armored vehicle, more news reporter, and 3 helicopters hovered over the school. Police screamed and took senior Matthew Patterson off the roof at gunpoint. The officers spotted the blue bag and reported for evacuation to nearby town. The students were herded across the street. The bomb squad walked to the bag, only to find out it's just a school lunch. All of this was just a waste of police resources. Matthew was charged with 3 felonies and sent to county prison under $300,000 bail. The school described Matthew as an attentive and quiet kid. He had been known to pull pranks at the end of school years. Hey, thank you for watching to the end. I want to apologize if this iceberg is a bit poorly organized because I just don't really know how to rank their deepness. I can rank it by at least well known because almost everything is not well known and happened before 2012. So I decided to rank it by its unusual depth. There were definitely a lot of pranks I didn't add here because most of it is the same thing but on different location. Secondly, I want to say sorry if my voice is kinda weird. Not only that, I was so sick when I was done voicing Tier 5. Which you could probably tell if you compare my voice from the beginning to the last minute of the video. If you enjoyed this video, then like this video and tag your videos with the biggest pickaxe. Oh, and also subscribe. Why even beg me if this video is gonna get like 5 views? If you don't, dislike it and comment why so I can improve it. Anyway, I gotta...
Emergency, hull failure, imminent. Abandon ship.
Uh-oh.